All right, let's call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Mike Benham,
Yes.
Danny Ragsdale,
Yes.
Cheryl Lindsay,
Yes.
and then Gina is not here. Joe Lawrence,
Yes.
Travis Miller.
Yes.
All right. Discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of May 2nd, 2024, regular meeting.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
You got a first, you got a second? Any discussion? Everyone's good with them? Call for a vote?
Benham,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Abstain. I was not here.
let's see, Scott Barnes,
Yes.
and Lure.
Abstain.
So I believe we can,
Yes.
oh, Ragsdale, excuse me.
Well, I knew you might need me, is the only reason I spoke up.
Ragsdale,
Yes.
All right.
thank you, sir.
Technically, it did pass.
It did.
With two extensions, so. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to enter into public hearing.
I'll move we enter the public hearing.
I'll second. All right, so I got a second either or.
Who motioned, I'm sorry,
I did.
and second?
You got to?
Well, it depends on who you want
I didn't,
Either me or Joe.
to get him. All
thank you, okay.
right, call for a vote.
Benham,
Yes.
Ragsdale.
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Yes.
Lure.
Yes.
All right, we're now in the public hearing for a zoning change for Brandon and Mary Beth Daly. The south 50 feet of Lot 4 and the north 40 feet of Lot 5 in Block 8 in the incorporated town of Pryor Creek, Mays County, State of Oklahoma, according to the U.S. Government Survey and Plat, also known as the address of 212 North Taylor. The current zone, the applicant is requesting zone change to IL, Industrial Light, for a warehouse. At this point in time, anyone that would like to speak from the public, please come up here, state your name. Hopefully everyone signed in, and tell us who you're for or against, and go from there.
I've done signed this.
Okay, you're good then.
Ralph Birkenfield, I live at 302 North Taylor. And that's, I can point that map that you got there where I live.
Just north of
Well, just right there on the corner. Never right here.
okay.
Okay, I got a few things I want to say about this.
Yes, sir.
I don't have nothing personally against Brandon or Mary Beth. I know them both. But the whole idea is, why was they allowed to build that type of building with the residential zoning? I don't think that was done right. Because you can look at that building, it don't resemble a residence of no kind. It's 25 foot tall, 3 12-foot overhead doors facing the street. It don't look like a house from the air. You can see it. Same way we're driving by. It's not residential housing type house or building, metal building. To me, or the city of Pryor's building inspector or code enforcer doing their job by letting them build that type of building on the residential zoning. And that's what I'm against. You'll probably do it your way anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, this board is not responsible for we just help set up the zoning part of it.
Yeah.
The enforcement is done by I believe Trent, wasn't it? Who is our code enforcement? Trent. And so that's kind of falls under their purview. The purpose of this meeting is whether you're for or against it, and state your reason why. Apologize. Fire department stuff.
Okay, I'm against it.
Okay.
I'm against it
That's
because it wasn't done right for one thing. And if you start rezoning property in a residential neighborhood, stop one after another down the street, the body shop. Okay, that was done. And across the street, Eddie Peters got that big warehouse or a big metal building, but That's another story, because that building was built back in the 50s by the U.S. government for a wheat storage, surplus wheat. That's for a fact. It was used for years, and it was vacant for years, and Eddie Peters bought it and taken good care of it, and he does a business, and he don't do much harm toward anybody. But on the west side of the street, it's just like it is, leave it residential. And I got a neighbor here, she lives just north of me, and she's against it too.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to take a step back, we'll let her step up. Ma'am, did you sign it also? Did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
I just make sure for the record.
All right, I'm against it. It's gonna cause a lot more traffic, big trucks, and we already have the trailer park and people who go around from the train tracks. And any more businesses there, what would it go for from there?
And did you say you live?
I live next door to Ralph, which is 306 North Taylor.
Okay. All right. You good? Anybody else in the audience? Your public.
And also, sir, if you'd like to come up anytime, I'll be glad to explain to you how that was built on there. You can come up to the office and I can go over
Okay.
how it gets, stuff like that
I
happens,
just
so.
figured it was a brother-in-law deal.
No.
Well,
No, it wasn't, so.
we researched it out. Yeah, I think it was legitimately done, and yeah.
Yeah. What I'd like to point out is that they want to go to IL on that. This was built in residential, as residential. It does have living quarters, bedroom, bathroom, living room, kitchen in it. That's how they built it, and they were going to be storing RVs, boats, and trucks in it. And they wanted a place to store, but it had to have living quarters in it. That's how you could get by. So it was built to residential. So the setbacks and everything was to the setbacks for residential. With IL, you have to go, it requires 50 feet on the sides and 50 feet in the back. There's no way that even comes close to meeting the setback requirements. Another thing is, with residential, they're probably going to have to be looking at emergency lighting, sprinkling systems. I don't know what else on that. That doesn't have sprinklers or anything like that in it that I'm aware of. Or when I last did an inspection, it didn't. Let's see here, setbacks. Oh, another thing is, if it is allowed for IL, technically, the way the code is written, you can now start getting commercial all the way over on Whitaker Street, because it will back up to that, another lot on the back side, and then you can start winding and getting commercial on Whitaker or IL on Whitaker, which like I say there again, that's all residential. I think it should be left residential. I live on that side of the tracks all my life. I love it. So, yeah, we got, like I say, the body shop, and of course, IMI across the street from there. But this was built as residential, and it needs, in my opinion, needs to stay residential, because it doesn't even come close to meeting.
The property doesn't meet the credentials anyway with
Yep.
setbacks and that.
Right, yes, on there. And I mean, and with IL, technically you can have LP gas tanks and everything stored in IL, and you sure would not want that in a residential area, and along with other things that can be there. But to me, that's a pretty dangerous thing, especially if a tank ever levies. It can do a lot of damage. Y'all have any other questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Did the applicant even appear?
The applicant is out of town on work, and he is in Kansas. He called and talked to me. And I think the people I think he's trying to sell his property to, I believe, Eddie Peters and his son-in-law, which run IMI. And I mean, he was told one thing, but application states warehouse on it, does it not? And so,
Jared Crisp with Mud called me today. He could not be here tonight. He just wanted me to let you know that as far as utilities to that property, the utility department is fine with that. He just wanted me to let you know that's why he could not be here tonight, but he wanted to make that statement.
But we don't need setbacks.
so, that's,
Do we know the size of this lot?
How about we-
An envelope?
I want to get a public hearing, we can get into ours.
Okay.
So, I get a motion to exit out of public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All right, you got a motion, got a second, any further discussion? Take a vote.
Dunham,
Yes.
Ragsdale,
Yes.
Clancy,
Yes.
Barnes,
This is the exit out of public hearing.
Yes.
Milord,
Yes.
All right, item number 4, discuss and possibly recommend council action regarding the zoning change for Brandon and Mary Beth Daly from the legal as read above. So I guess this is where we start having our discussion.
Do we know the size of the building envelope?
We've looked at the size of the building or the lot.
Building envelope, that would be the lot. Do we have room for 50-foot setbacks?
No, there's not.
I know, did we kind of Google Earth it just to, from the road to the front of the structure was 67 feet?
roughly 60, 68, 70.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
But it's not gonna meet the side setbacks.
That's something stupid. And it's sandwiched between two houses. That was the thing that I noticed when I drove by is it's got houses on either side of it.
Well, the thing about zoning it, any form of industrial, where you've got residential, it stays with the land until it gets to be changed, and you've opened the door to make the whole block industrial.
And playing devil's advocate, I know south of there, it is kind of businessy. From there, I used to live on South Taylor back in the day, so. Over Taylor Street.
Is it considered adjacent if it's across the road?
I think me and Cheryl had that question. Because, I mean, the only IL is literally, well, across the tracks, actually. 'Cause
Right.
I don't think that,
So,
that building was pre about everything here. Like I think you said, it was built back in 1950, so. So the closest IL is literally, me and Cheryl discussed this, was across the tracks. You'd have to cross the tracks to get IL to even go over there.
you would have to stretch the term adjacent pretty far to say there's some zoning adjacent to this property that's,
Well, another thing, if you look across the street, that backs up to the railroad tracks,
right.
and there's no houses anywhere there.
That is railroad right there by Eddie's home, correct?
Yes.
That's railroad property right there?
Yeah, and they won't let anybody build anything on the railroad property. Joe, if you want, I can go get the measurements of that lot. We'd like that real quick.
I can tell by looking at it from here what's going on. I've already made up my mind. I don't have to see anymore.
Would y'all want that next door to you?
Oh, but
Working as a warehouse. Office buildings,
That's today, what can happen
man,
a year from
that's,
now?
and I'm guessing IL is the only thing they could even apply for, because I don't think there was any CAR or anything even close.
Well, that's my point. You know, my whole premise of being on this from the get-go is just to call balls and strikes. And, you know, balls and strikes to me says it's not adjacent. And so I don't know how you can zone it anything than residential, multifamily. We've set a precedent of not letting people spot zone
That's correct.
for that. So, right, we'd open up ourselves to
Well, city, well, ultimately, the city has
yeah,
to
right.
decide, so.
Yeah, we're just,
And it's not in conformance with the master plan.
right, and I don't see, I mean, even his reasoning for wanting to do it, if I was Eddie and I wanted to buy it, what would keep me from just using it as is in the present zoning? I mean, what does he want to store in there? Did anybody know? Is it something that you could only store an IL? But my point would be that would make it even more so kind of what Kenny said, what do you want to store in there? If he's just wanting,
It's got them 3 big doors, what do you think that's for?
well, yeah, I mean, like, if he wanted to buy it and use it to park an RV in, he could still do that. He don't have to change zoning for that. But if he wanted, well, I guess what was the reasoning to want to change the zoning? That would make it even more so less likely that you'd want to rezone it. Just kind of following a common sense path toward deducting why does he want it rezoned?
I just don't think you start setting industrial stuff in the middle of neighborhoods.
No, absolutely not. Well, we did one, over at the bowling alley, but we already had a bowling alley and we made industrial light, but we put very, very strict restrictions on that.
I wasn't here for that one.
And we were recommended by, city attorney and consult, Steve Powell consulting, and, we could do something like that and not violate,
And at some point, that area
Yeah.
will start transitioning
Right.
into other things.
Yeah, well, when we eventually set that forth, we wanted that path all the way down, didn't we? Maybe possibly rezone that. But this has got residential homes all around it. Both sides and the back.
Front's the only thing that doesn't.
Well, maybe we should defer until the owner, or the applicant can be here.
Well,
I don't think that changed.
I think we can vote on this.
all right. Do I have a motion of some type?
Be a motion to vote on it.
So are you making for or against,
Well, I'm against.
Okay.
So the motion would be to deny the application.
Yes.
I'll second it.
I have a first, I have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Motion to deny. Okay, Dunn?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm not-
Ragsdale?
Yes.
Clancy?
Yes.
Barnes?
Yes.
Lord?
Yes. All right, motion is denied. All right, number 5, my favorite.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
That was a quick second.
Dunn?
Yes.
Ragsdale?
Yes.
Clancy?
Yes.
Barnes?
Yes.
Lord?
Yes.
And as you always tell people, Mike, we are